Well, my next guest's unmistakable voice made Gary Puckett and the Union Gap one of the biggest groups of the 60s, with hits like Young Girl, Over You, This Girl Is a Woman Now, and Home. In 1968, they had 6 consecutive gold records. They outsold every other act in the world, including the Beatles. Get that. And he is still packing houses today. Would you give a great big welcome to Gary Puckett? Gary, welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you, Mike.
Keith Bilbrey and I both grew up as teenage disc jockeys. We played your records. We owe you a lot, because if it weren't for guys like you making phenomenal music, I'm not sure what we would have done. We wouldn't have played Lawrence Welk music, that's pretty sure.
There was a lot of great music back then, you know, so you were able to play a lot of great music.
A lot of great music, and a lot of it came from Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You guys just kept putting out hits, and it was unique. The sound, as soon as I hear a Gary Puckett song, I mean, I know who it is. You have an unmistakable voice. Do people still just swoon over the fact that you're still out there doing concerts?
Well, you know, the fans love the music, and they come to see us, and we try to do the best we can to play that music and to have a good time with them.
Where do the Union soldier outfits come from?
Well, I had been trying to figure out how we could get through that barrier of being able to find a record company, being able to make a record, being able to get a champion of the cause, you know, because I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in nightclubs, in the smoke and the alcohol atmosphere, you know. So I had found a little agent up in Los Angeles. He came down to see us, thought we were a decent band, said, I'll get you some work. Sent us to Van Nuys first, up in the LA area. Then we went to Seattle. And all this time I'm thinking, what is it we can do? We need to have a look, an identification, you know. And one day, because I had, for many years, had an interest in the Civil War history of the U.S., and I went, that just seems like a really great idea. We can be the same and yet different. We can have ranks and, you know, different hats and stuff like that, but we will be uniform, you know. And I thought Union Soldier because I grew up in the North. You know, that was, and I liked blue, you know. so I told the fellas what we were going to do, and they said, that's the dumbest thing we ever heard.
Hey, I'm glad they listened to you eventually, because it worked out pretty doggone well.
It did.
Gary, I got to tell you, the greatest hits album of Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, one of the, must-have albums for every baby boomer out there, and even for people who are 20 years old. If you don't have the greatest hits of Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, you got to get it, because it was one of the biggest selling albums CBS Records ever had. There's a reason for that, and you'll find out when you own it. Keith, Gary is going to join the band and do some music for us, so why don't you tell the viewers how they can hear more of the timeless music of Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Well, just visit huckabee.tv for a link to their music, tour dates, social media pages, and autographed albums, including the new album, Love Songs. You can also see an exclusive online performance of Home. Now, performing their #1 hit, Over You, here's Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Thank you. Why am I losing sleep over you? Reliving precious moments we knew. So many days have gone by, still I'm so lonely, and I guess there's just no getting over you. And there's nothing I can do but spend all of my time out of my mind. You sing it. Very good. I love it. Within the prison walls of my mind, there's still a part of you left behind. I love it.